Let's talk about tripods. I love tripods. The tripods that I want to talk about today, they are not, and I'm going to do a separate review on this tripod here, the Joyle can. This one's more, it's a sturdier, heavier one, and this one that you would mount your camera to. Whereas the ones that I'm talking about today are more so for light stands, specifically for travel. It can add up so quickly as far as the weight capacity, and next thing you know, you're paying a lot of extra money, especially if you're flying, for some of these items. So the weight and the compactness are going to be important. But I used to grab these little bad boys all the time when I was just recording everything from my cell phone. And this one I always liked because you can wrap it around anything and it doesn't have to be a flat surface, to say the least. I upgraded to the UB size, and look, couldn't have scripted that, could I? This is not an expensive light stand. As a matter of fact, that can go right back. I don't think I actually broke it. Yeah. This is why you wouldn't put an expensive camera on one of these. But it definitely served the purpose when I would go out and I would film from my phone, and this thing, it extends, I think, to 4 or 5 feet. It's a decent little cheap plastic, as you can tell. It does the job. And I mean, it even has, a level on here as well. It's all relative. I think this was 20 bucks. And usually I think what I did with this was I would put a ring light. Heck, it might have even come with a ring light with this one. I don't remember. But, so you set it up and you put a ring light, and then in the center of the ring light is your phone holder. So that's how I used this one. Fortunately, it never snapped on me when I was actually filming. So on to the next ones. There's so many different ones. Like when I got my green screens, I'm pretty sure this is what came with the green screens, and it served the purpose as far as being able to hold up the green screen. However, it looks like a decent tripod at first glance, but there's not even a name brand on it, so it tells you it was not a high-priced one. But what'll happen with these is everything is plastic, basically. Now, this here is not, like the actual main components are not plastic, but the way that you loosen and tighten, these knobs are plastic. But not only are the knobs plastic, I have actually cracked these right here because they're plastic that's wrapped around metal or aluminum. I'm not even sure what this is, but they'll do the trick. But I would not necessarily recommend getting these for travel, and especially if you have expensive equipment, just because well, I'm going to show you. You can do better. But if you're on a budget, these work. Just be prepared that they are rather cheap. And again, these things, they can crack, and you don't want to have that happen if you're actually trying to set up and get some cool sunset pics or what have you. And then the next one that I invested in, I forget how long ago, it's been a minute, but is eMart. eMart's a pretty popular one. A lot of these are the ones that also come with green screens and light boxes and whatnot. And this one is, again, very, very similar as far as it has all of these plastic knobs and plastic tighteners that are connected to this. Again, is it metal? Is it aluminum? I'm not sure. About the same as far as what you would get in quality here as this one here, the one I just showed you. So, but this one's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. Not much, but a little bit. If I was on a budget and I needed one, and I'm trying to stay, at 20 to 40 bucks or something like that, or 20 or 30 bucks, I think that's about where this one falls. But this isn't meant to do a big review about these as much as I wanted to talk more about my two favorite ones and compare them. One is made from aluminum and the other is carbon fiber. They both cost almost exactly the same at about, I think it was 75 bucks for each of these. So this one here, this is K&F Concepts, and all of these like clips, and then first of all, kind of dig the orange. They all feel relatively well made. And of course, you're going to have your hook so you can weight it down. So that way, if you've got heavy equipment on here, and mind you, this thing isn't really supposed to hold more than, I think the weight limit is 13 pounds, but I don't have 13 pounds of equipment that I'm worried about anyway. I don't put my camera on here. It's just meant to be, you know, light stand for like a light box, an umbrella, and I put my light panels and things on here. It's 86.6 inches, which comes out to 7.2 feet. So this thing extends. When it's all closed up, it folds up to 25 inches. So really, really nice, compact. And guess how much this puppy weighs? 2 pounds. That's it, 2 pounds. And that's what makes this such a great travel light stand. Basically 2 feet long, only weighs 2 pounds. Durable aluminum. And I'm telling you, it's really easy to set up. And then as far as extending these poles, they've got the clips. So you extend, boom, boom, you get the gist. And it has a 1/4 inch thread. It does come with a carrying bag, and it has these rubber feet on here. And it's a good feeling tripod. Now this isn't something, you know, we're talking about tripods that are under $100 here. So, you know, this thing isn't going to get like record breaking reviews for ones that people in Hollywood are using, but this one's been good. I like this one a lot. Beyond the K&F Concept, the other one that I wanted to talk about is this one by Newer. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me how to pronounce it. Neewer is what I do know. But this one is the one that's carbon fiber. If I had to pick between that K&F Concept and between this one, well, let's just say that I already bought a second one of these, and that's what's actually holding my light box right now. But I think the reason I like this one more is, well, first, when it's folded up, it's even smaller at 22 inches. But also, probably not doing myself any favors here, but I'm trying to do all of this in a short frame or a small frame in my studio here. But here's what I like about this one. These grips right here, these little twisty ones, are made of rubber. And so instead of having the clips like the K&F Concept one did, which I'm always afraid with this plastic clips that one time I'm going to be pressing it or unlocking it and it's going to break. And of course, it's all relative. That can happen with just about anything. But this, I don't know, it's just something about this with these rubber grips. It just feels good. And it also just doesn't take like any time to extend this thing. And this one's a little bit shorter. So it is 22 inches. Yeah, 22 inches when it's folded and 6.5 feet when it's extended. I don't need one that's going to be higher than 6.5 feet anyway. But just the feel of this thing with it being carbon fiber, and also it just looks good. But also with this one, these rubber feet are even better than the ones on the K&F Concept. They're bigger and they're sturdy. They're not going anywhere. And of course, you've got your clip so you can hang weight here just in case, and if it's a windy day and what have you. But if I had to pick one, it would be this one. And that's why I have two of them. This one here, it weighs less than 2 pounds. Did I say that? Less than 2 pounds. There's nothing to this. But you can also tell, though, it doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel like you're going to be afraid to mount a $200 light to, or what have you. At least I haven't felt that way yet. And I'll leave links to the K&F Concept because, again, that's a great tripod light stand. And I'll do the same with this Newer. But what do you have? What do you use? And what do you like? Do you have either one of the ones that I've actually talked about today? And do you have different opinions? because I'm not far enough in my photography and videography journey to be investing in really, really high dollar equipment. So I'm sure that there's going to be people who are going to say that these are just cheap and they would never put their FX30 on something like this. Well, first of all, it's not meant to be for a camera. It's just meant to be for lights. Anyway, I'd like to hear your opinion. Hopefully you found this helpful. And if you did, if you smash that like button, that would help me a lot. And I'll see you next time.